So today I'm going to share with you the differences between private equity 10, 20, 30 years ago and private equity right now. What are the differences? Are there things that you used to do back then that you can do right now or not, right? This is what I want to explain to you because I got a question specifically from one of the followers, which means you definitely want to comment below the video with your questions about buying businesses, private equity, because this is exactly what this channel is about. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Moran Pober. I'm here to help you buy your dream business or a few of them, and I'm also the founder of Acquisitions.com. Now, I want to read you specifically the comment that I got from one of the followers. So let me just read it to you so you understand exactly what we're talking about. So it's basically saying, hey, quick question. I saw a video from David Rubenstein talking about private equity and mentioned about leverage buyout being much harder to do in this day and age since you cannot raise as much debt as in the past. Back in the 70s, 80s, Pennias, the KKR's days, a deal could have about 95 to 5 debt equity ratio, whereas nowadays the average would be 50-50. There are a lot more PE firms these days also, and enterprises over 100 million are usually auctioned off to investment banks, right? So that's the question. So to begin with, David Rubenstein, I mean, he's a billionaire, right? So obviously you know a thing or two, and I got all the respect to him. Now, the comment that I got, I don't even know if those words are specifically from David Rubenstein. I don't know if he specifically said it. I'm just commenting on the comment that I got, right? And just to share with you my experience and what worked for me and my clients, and share with you exactly if and how you can implement some of those things in your life. So to begin with private equity firm, especially if you listen to David Rubenstein, his company is a public company. They're looking to buy billion-dollar deals. Those are not the deals that you're gonna personally do initially, obviously. If you're watching this channel, you most likely look for your first deal, or you have an existing business and you want to grow it by acquisition and look for your second deal, which means that most likely, initially, you're going to look for companies doing between 1 to 5 million a year. For those businesses, there's a big difference. Those owners care much more about legacy, about taking care of their employees, about making sure that the buyer won't fire their employees and won't change the name of the door initially or immediately, because he built something that for him is very important. He knows all of the name of his employees. He probably knows all of the names of the wives of the employees as well. He's very connected to them. They are literally like his family. So the difference is that with those small deals, the owner cares much more about the psychology of the buyer versus the amount of money that he's going to get, which is exactly why for those small specific deals, it's much less about how much equity you bring from home. It's more about what character you bring and what value you can add to that business by taking care of their business and employees and brand and legacy. For larger businesses, obviously, especially if there are hundreds or thousands of employees, which are the businesses that David Rubenstein is buying, that owner don't care about specific employees. They don't even know their names. So in that case, based on my experience and what I see out there with my clients, those owners care much more about the amount of money that they get, which is exactly why a buyer will need much more equity as a down payment. With those small deals, you don't need those things. And I'm a proof for that, and my clients are proof for that, who are buying companies all the time without using any of their own money. Now, I'll also add to the fact that you said nowadays you need 50-50 in terms of equity and debt. That's not the case as well, especially again with the small deal that we're talking about, companies doing between 1 to 5, 10 million a year. Here's a proof. One of my clients just bought 2 businesses in the last month, and the bank gave him more than 100% of financing for those deals, which means he got leftovers that he can take home at closing. Plus, the bank gave him enough money to buy those businesses, and those are profitable, good businesses. He didn't need to put any money of his own, cash basically, and he didn't need to sign any personal guarantee. He didn't have any downside whatsoever. He just had the right institution. He knew how to approach that institution, and he knew how to negotiate with the owner, so the bank will give him enough money so he could eventually take money at home as well. Or he could, if you want, he can just use that money and keep it in the business to optimize the business and grow it even further. So I would say the biggest lesson for you with this question is don't make assumptions based on just one sentence that you read. You don't know what is their agenda, you don't know what deals they're looking at. I can tell you that I have right now more than 100 clients who are out there looking for deals, and I look at a lot of those deals. I have much more data than you, again, in those specific size of businesses. And I know specifically what's working and what's not working. And by you going out there and looking for big authorities, yes, I agree, but they are not at your stage. And by you listening to them, you're literally finding yourself excuses on why you don't go out there and take action. So you need to really pay attention and be careful from who you're gonna listen to and who not. He's that person, he's where you wanna be, yes, but is he the next step that you need to listen to? Probably not, because your deals are not even close to the deals that you're looking at. So I would suggest you that right now, where you at, again, if you're watching this channel, it means that most likely you don't have a business or you have a very small business doing less than 50 million a year. Those are just 99% of the people who so far watching me. And if you're at that stage, figure out someone who's just few steps ahead of you. If you want to see what worked for me and my clients, then we're going to put here a link that you can go and check A to Z how that works for us. Or just find someone else that can help you, but someone that is only few steps ahead of you. Otherwise, if you're going to look at someone who's 50 steps ahead of you, you're just going to be too overwhelmed. And yes, it might be cool to listen to them and learn from them, but it's not going to give you lessons that you can actually implement on right away. And if you can't implement on those lessons, you just won't be able to get results. Remember that someone like David Rubenstein, he forgot lessons that you didn't learn yet. He knows things that you don't even know are possible or exist yet. So you need to learn the basics and find yourself someone to learn from the basics from. And after you get the initial results, then yeah, obviously you can look at bigger deals, and then you'll have equity in the businesses that you buy that you could use for down payments for even larger businesses. So that's what I would suggest you to do. Now, if you like this video, please like the video and let me know in the comments below what you think. And I definitely suggest you to check this next video about my business ayahuasca experience in this video right now. Go and watch it right now because it's going to be really helpful for your next steps in your business in whatever sector you want to focus on. So go there right now and I'll see you there in a bit.